Hi, I'm Nicholas Principe from Vaughan, Ontario, Canada, and you're listening to the Pro Hockey News Podcast.
Welcome in to another edition of the Pro Hockey News Podcast, First Line Edition. Adam, Richard, Lonnie, Nick the intern, all with you. Gentlemen, we are off and running in the second round. We had some fun games. We're recording this on Friday the 9th. The 8th was fun. A couple overtime extravaganzas. I'm going to go north and west, so north of the border, western part of the U.S., because those games have been fun and potentially a little surprising. The Vegas Flu is the home team in this. The Fortress is not strong. Edmonton, Lonnie, is winning, and they're using depth to win.
It's finally what we've been hoping for, that they were going to find ways to win and not have to lean so heavily on 97 and 29. And against a team as deep as Vegas, the way they're doing it is really impressive. I mean, to me, the biggest shock is they just keep coming back from deficits. This is 6 games in a row. They've come from behind.
Yeah, just somebody should let them score first.
Right. I mean, moral of the story is maybe if they score first, they don't. But you have Mark Stone in game 1 scoring twice inside of 9 minutes. And it's like, okay, they're off and running. Vegas, solid team, arguably the best in the West, and just completely fell apart. I mean, what Edmonton's done is really impressive and a little bit surprising.
Richard, if I told you that Edmonton has won 6 games in a row and are 6-2 in the playoffs, how many goals? Give me an over/under of the McDavid goals you would assume have happened by now.
Yeah, the McDavid goals, I'd assume he at least had 6.
Yeah,
one in each game. Yeah.
Nobody on the team has 6. That's what's crazy.
Exactly.
McDavid's got 2. Draisaitl's got 4. Bouchard and Connor Brown just throwing it in from the backside with 4 goals apiece. I mean, absolutely just spreading out the points. You got McDavid with 14, Draisaitl with 13. So they're leading in points. That's majorly because of power plays. This is my favorite stat. 5-on-5 in the playoffs. Edmonton is +7 without Draisaitl and McDavid on the ice. Without
that's an insane number. There's no, you're glad, at least as a neutral, as somebody who wants to see the best players playing for as long as possible. You want to see the depth kind of come through, but +7 without those 2 is crazy. Yeah. Totally unexpected.
Yeah, I mean, did you have Ryan Nugent-Hopkins of a rebirth of 8 points through 8 games in the playoffs? Do you have Corey Perry at 5-8? I mean, talk about a guy that's just gritty as heck and doing it. Victor Arvidsson, playing phenomenal hockey on the right side there. Oh, and how about the fact that freaking McDavid had nearly 30 minutes last night in that game as a forward?
How deep into overtime did that one go? It went pretty deep, right? Was it over early?
6 or 7 minutes to go in the first or in the overtime, I think. Okay. Let me pull up the official box score as I was watching that late into it. 15:20 is your official hockey time on that.
15:20. So 75 minutes of hockey and a forward is playing 30 odd minutes.
They're over 30 minutes, yeah.
That's a lot of hockey.
Yeah, 97. I mean, that's Mikko Rantanen type numbers there. That's 30 29-49 of ice time. 21 minutes of that, even 6:59 of power play time. It helps when you have a 5-minute major in the game, and I think they played 3.5 of it, but 29-49 of ice time for a forward.
That is insane amount of ice time. I think to me you've got 4 guys scoring at least a point a game. Hyman close with 7 points in 8 games. I mean, McDavid with 12 assists and a +7. It's really remarkable.
Oh, yeah.
And the number of you had 18 players with at least a point.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, one of those is Jeff Skinner, who only played one game, but of the 17 guys who have played every game so far, I'm sorry, 18 guys who have played every game so far, 17 of them have at least 2 points.
Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty impressive.
How about can we feel I do feel bad. I do feel bad for one person last night, Richard. Phenomenal two-way player, potential Selkie guy throughout his career. Jack Eichel, really good skater, really good two-way player. He's now a meme. He is now going to live forever in a 3-second clip of crossing his right leg over left leg and swinging his stick as Draisaitl sauces it to, or sorry, as McDavid goes past him. Like they'll stop it even before like the backhand pass over to Draisaitl. But yeah, I mean, like, say what you want about Eichel, 97 in open ice is you're not, no, you can't do it.
He's the fastest guy on the ice.
Ugh.
If you don't stay far enough in front of him, he's going to blow right past you, and there's no chance to catch him.
If you would make the jersey, Nick, like completely black, take away the number, take away the nameplate, I don't think anybody in the first 100 guesses would have said that was Eichel.
No, I mean Eichel's not used to skating backwards, but even still, that was just a ridiculous speed.
Sick, just absolutely insane. If you're Vegas, Lonnie, this is not how you drew it up, and you're in deep doo doo.
No, this is a dangerous situation here. You had to hold serve at home to drop both games on home ice, going back up north with a real, as we learned last year, that is a really live crowd. That building gets jumping. It's some real alarm bells should be ringing right now for the Golden Knights, because they're in a world of hurt.
And to close out this look at them, so Winnipeg and LA in 16-17 and 84-85 had 7 consecutive comeback wins. So Edmonton is at 6, one away from that.
I'm pretty
let them score first.
I'm pretty sure they would enjoy like not having to sweat it. Maybe get a couple early and just let the game come to that. I mean, look, if you're going to be in a situation where you have to chase the game, chasing a game with McDavid and Draisaitl, there are worse tandems you could have chasing the game with. On the other hand, McDavid is averaging 24 minutes a night in the playoffs, and not having to double shift him every game might be useful for a long run.
But I don't know, Adam. I think you hit it on the head with Edmonton. This is kind of the way they're used to playing for the last 6 games. This is their process. Get down, maybe that lights the fire under you, and you play even better. I think the strategy is let them score first, let them have that lead, and let them squander it.
Just don't start with a goalie. Let them go up 1-0 and see
exactly.
what happens.
Just point them to the net and say, "Here you go, guys."
Or just pull a Dallas and let McDavid curl around and shoot with nobody within 16 feet of him.
Yeah. So switching over to the other side of the West, who apparently has the NBA schedule of let's take 7 weeks to finish a round. I mean, the Dallas Winnipeg now just going into their second game. I mean, really, there's only one thing to talk about in game 1. I mean, Richard, I'll let you talk about it. He's so fond and near and dear to you, and I mean, there's no pain involved in this topic. I'll let you set this up.
Yeah, no pain. You know what? The fans here still absolutely love him. He was a phenomenal player for us. There's no ill will with him, even against Colorado, even his former teammates, very supportive of him.
What is wrong with your fan base?
Huh?
He should be hated.
Why? We wanted to keep him. It's not like he was pushing for this trade.
He didn't want to stay.
No, he did want to stay.
Not at the money that they were offering, obviously.
Well, I mean...
Greedy bastard, you should hate him. Come on.
We don't hate him. We love the Moose. Anyways, he's having himself a heck of a playoffs. 2 back-to-back hat trick games. He has 13 points. No, this was against Colorado. He had 12 points, 8 goals. He just went off on Colorado in the last 3 games of that series. Just piled it on. And
Yeah,
I want to put
11 points in 3 games is not bad.
not bad.
Not
I do
bad.
want to put an asterisk on that first hat trick because he did score an empty netter with like 3 seconds left in that game.
They all count.
They all do count. So, but
Two
You know what?
3 goal periods.
yeah,
The
that's
most
true.
the most impressive thing nugget out of this whole situation is Mikko Rantanen had a hat trick in Colorado's first and last game of the season.
Oh, nasty.
Yes, he did. You're right. Thank you for bringing that back.
Sorry.
One of the
Listen,
two.
remember
you liked one
the
of
good
them.
times. Remember
Yeah,
the
yeah,
good
yeah.
times.
Hey, that's what you
And
said.
that's
You're not
exactly
mad
what we're
at him.
doing. We're not mad at him.
Yeah,
We're
great.
very supportive of him. He's a phenomenal player, great person. Love to see him succeed. We just wish he could have been wearing our sweater when he did that.
Well, pay the man.
I mean,
We
think,
should have, but we didn't have any money. Yeah,
Right, this is-
Landeskog coming
I mean,
back.
and this is sort of the situation that's emblematic of teams that were bad and had a lot of years of high draft picks in the salary cap era. Eventually, you have to pay all these guys.
Oh yeah, and we just didn't have the
And-
money to.
Right. And eventually the money runs out. You have to make choices.
Oh, they made choices. Colorado
They-
made
they-
choices.
Clearly not
They
the
sure
right
did.
one.
Not yet. Yeah. So that's it. One game through. Rantanen owns it. If basically if Rantanen keeps doing what he's doing, okay, sorry Winnipeg. Like, I mean, you just got to stop the Moose. Seems to be a pretty simple solution.
It's phenomenal coaching, though. You're double shifting him
Yes.
because A, he's used to carrying the load, and you can do that. B, you get him away from unfavorable matchups. Although right now, I'm not sure there is such a thing as an unfavorable matchup, but you get him not against a checking line when you double shift him. You put him out there with whomever and let him wreak havoc.
And you saw this in Colorado as well. In the first 2 games that were in Colorado where they were double shifting, but he didn't do it as much at home. The ice time was down that game 5 at home when they didn't need to they didn't need to avoid the matchups and all that.
Right.
So, I mean, he's averaging 19 minutes a game-ish, which is high for a forward, but he's had a couple of games of 17 where they've gotten him away from matchups. So, I mean, DeBoer is good. I mean, he's strategically a very, very good coach. Always has been. And he's got a team that can get him that cup this year.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yep.
I don't think there's any I mean, God, I know we're pushing ahead, but Dallas and Edmonton is a tasty series. Give that to me.
That is going to be
Give
some
that to me.
that is some high level hockey.
Yes. Just give that to me. And DeBoer, this is a coach that he's been to 1 Stanley Cup.
Yep.
A long time ago. I think Nick may have been pooping his pants still back in 15, 16. Close. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, he's got last 2 years, conference finals. He's lost it. Oh, he's 4 out of the last 5 years he's lost in the conference finals? Because didn't Vegas go to back-to-back conference finals? And then he got...
Was he canned before that, or was he canned after the second?
No, okay, 1920, 2021, he lost in the conference finals. Then he was canned after the 21-22 season when they had
That's
a paltry 94 points.
Only.
Yeah, 43-31-8, missed the playoffs, got him fired. And then Dallas, lost in the finals to Vegas and then lost last year to Edmonton. So yeah, 4 of the last 5 conference finals has entertained a Pete DeBoer coach team. It's not bad.
No.
He also was in the
that's
conference
pretty good.
finals his last full year in San Jose before he was midseason fired. I mean, he's got success.
He does.
Everywhere it goes,
547.
it's pretty impressive.
10 years in the playoffs, 547 win percentage. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take
Guaranteed
that.
Game 7 winner. 9-0 now. What is it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Almost, yeah, but that's because he gets to game 7. Some coaches, which we'll talk about here later, that have been rehired, don't get to game 7 because they go 10-1 in game 6s when they have a chance to close it out. But yeah, going over to the East, Nick, your Leafs look confident.
Oh yeah.
Something's different.
There's a few things, definitely a few things. Probably most predominantly probably production and decor. Uh, but the coaching, I mean, like the coaching is probably where everything starts, right? Marner said after the last game, that Berube brings intensity, but also calmness. And I think it's evident throughout the bench, the team, the locker room. It's clear.
Yeah, no cheering goals in Toronto. Do not cheer
Unless you're
goals
Mark
on the
Savard.
bench.
Yeah, unless you're Mark Savard.
He did. He changed that after he got scolded. But no, I think you're right. I mean, we talk about coaching a lot, good, bad, indifferent, and makes a difference. But I think at this time of the year, yeah, the intangibles are huge. That's what separates them. Berube's been there. He's won. He understands what it takes. He understands gritty as a player. Yeah, I mean, there's a calmness on that bench, and there's a can-do attitude that is just different. And the core four, they're responding different.
100%. 100%. I mean, most predominantly Nylander. I mean, Matthews is yet to really shine this playoffs, but I think the rest of the four are doing their job, including Riley.
Lonnie, on the flip side, you've got Florida, who, I mean, that fatigue sets in, right? That Stanley Cup runs go deep. They've done that a couple times, but they've only lost by a goal each game. And now they're coming home. And it's kind of like if they win game 3, all of a sudden I think that the narrative changes, especially if they happen to dominate the win. Then it goes back to, ooh, the Leafs are the Leafs. Like one game really can swing this series.
Listen, the Leafs won 2 games at home. Great. You know what? They held serve. I don't think narratives are being written yet.
Ooh.
I think if Florida comes back and wins 4 in a row, they're the defending Stanley Cup champions. I don't think there's anything to, like, nobody's going to ding Berube or the Leafs for that. Like, this is Florida. They have a stacked roster. I don't know if they're the most complete team left in the playoffs, but they're, certainly up there. If they were to come back and win the series 4-2, I wouldn't bat 9. I wouldn't say this is the same old Toronto. Toronto won 2 games at home. They were close games. Congrats. Yeah, it's better than losing your first 2 at home, but I'm not sure I'm not sure there's anything, narrative wise to drive this quite yet, though.
The only devil's advocate I'll play is in the third period. It was like, 5.5 in when Lundell tied it for Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Historically, it seems like, okay, they would have folded. And not only did they score like on the next shift, it was Mitch Marner, one of the big guys who they rely on, scored on the next shift. I mean, that's what felt different about, the first couple games is how Toronto responded, when they were scored upon. They went up 2-0, eventually up 4-1, and then it crept back to 4-3 in the third period, early in the third period.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nyes, kind of put the dagger there with 14 minutes to go. So, I mean, to me, it doesn't seem they're not crumbling.
They're not. And again, I think if they were to lose the series 4-2, it wouldn't be crumbling either. It's still Florida. So again, it's not like it's Ottawa. It's not like they blew a 3-0 lead and lost it in 7, right?
So you're saying Ottawa not as good as Florida. Check. Got it.
Breaking news. We're breaking news over here, folks. I don't think I can't get that worked up yet. I mean, if this gets to 3-1 and Toronto has a chance Toronto has two chances to close it out at home and they lose in 7, then let's have a conversation about narrative. But now I still think it's too early yet. Game 3 is going to tell us too much of what that looks like.
Fair enough. The other part of the East.
I do have a question. Adam, I would like your input on this.
Nobody ever asked my input.
You usually just give it without asking.
Correct.
Right, exactly.
But
you haven't given this input yet. So I think this is very important. Given the acquisitions that Florida made towards the trade deadline, if they were to lose in game 3, do we see any Maple Leafs getting licked in game 4?
No.
We already saw one in game 1.
I mean, that was just a greeting. That wasn't a frustration lick. I mean, you haven't truly seen a Marchand frustration lick this series.
Fair. No, I think we go lick free for most of it. I
Okay.
think.
All right.
I
Lick
think.
free. Got it. All right.
I think so. Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
Didn't see
Just,
that one coming.
I didn't
Didn't see.
think you would.
Yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate
Got to
that,
bring
though.
it back because it's always good material.
Let's go to the nation's capital, where everything good is happening. Split. Not a shock. I mean, does anybody not have this one going 7? I mean, this is like two evenly matched teams with kind of the same holes, I would say, who, good old Southeast Division battle. I mean, this is 7, right?
It does scream 7. I can't
It
lie.
does. It does.
Nick, have you heard of the Southeast Division? Are you aware that there was one back in the day?
Aware of it. I don't know if I was alive during it, but might have been.
Oh God, that feels like a shot. Like that feels personal.
Oh,
I've taken too many shots in this to not give some back.
You're the intern. It's your job to take shots
What year were you
or
born?
to have shots taken at.
02.
What's the birth year?
02.
Oh man.
It was around. It was
Well,
It was
around.
around.
It started right around 2000 and it lasted a little over a decade. Yeah, you were
Yeah, I
98
was
to
around.
13.
Oh, yeah, I was definitely around. Sorry.
Can you name the 5 teams?
Couldn't tell you.
Can you guess the 5 teams in the Southeast Division?
Well, the Hurricanes, the Capitals. I'm ready 2 for 5.
Yeah, there you go.
Um,
A battle in round 1 are the other 2 teams.
I don't know. I wasn't prepared for tests.
Florida, Tampa,
Atlanta.
Florida, Tampa. Oh,
And the
the
win- yes.
Thrashers.
and the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah.
The now Winnipeg
The
Jets.
more you know.
Yeah,
The
That's right.
current Winnipeg Jets, not the former Winnipeg Jets.
the current. Yeah, because the former are we'll talk. Got New Jerseys.
We'll get there. We'll get
We'll
there.
get there.
But,
yeah,
but
yeah,
did no.
yeah. But yeah, they did. Yeah, I mean, this one has all the makings of 7. It's been interesting though thus far how quiet kind of the Washington offense has been. Ovechkin has yet to score. Wilson has a single goal. In their win last night, McMichael Carlson gets on the board for the first time on the power play. Wilson throws an empty netter in there. The big guys are not yet storming the castle here in DC.
Well, the whole team is struggling. I mean, the whole team is struggling offensively, and it's great to have a split. But you've had 2 home games, and they're just not shooting the puck enough. At least not. I mean, Carolina's pumping it like crazy, but
Well,
they're
14 shots in game 1 is really bad. Really bad.
and 20 last night in game 2. They've had 34 shots in 2 games. Carolina had that many shots in game 1.
I mean, that's like a period for Edmonton.
Right.
Right.
It is the offense is on the struggle bus. And when you're at home and getting locked down that well, it is concerning.
Concerning is a good way for it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, poor Logan Thompson.
He's playing great.
That's what I'm saying. Poor
I mean,
Logan
he's
Thompson.
playing great and getting he's getting no help.
No.
I mean, Washington, you'd argue Washington's lucky to have gotten out of it with a split.
Yeah, I mean, and you can argue that Logan Thompson's probably been the best player of both games. I think
There's
he's
no question.
He's outplayed Frederick Anderson in their 1-1. It's I still think this goes 7. I still got this one ticketed for 7, Richard.
You know, in my mind, yes. I logically, yes, this has to go 7. Just because, like you'd mentioned, the strength of these 2 teams, they're very similar. Their numbers are identical. except for Carolina's got one big advantage, and that is their special teams, especially their penalty kill
Yeah.
this postseason. It's been much better than Washington. So you get Washington to take a couple of stupid penalties, that could definitely give you the advantage because you're most likely going to be turning those into goals, just given what we've seen so far this season.
Yeah. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. All the games coming on this weekend. I'm not even going to lament about how stupid some of the game times are for this weekend. Why we can't play earlier on a Saturday. I mean, I guess at least it's a 9 p.m. Eastern start is our late game on Saturday. At least they're playing a late afternoon game on Sunday, but I don't know. And unfortunately, here in the States, Lonnie, yet another non-broadcast television weekend opportunity for the NHL in their TV contract.
Never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity.
I mean, why not have an NBA NHL doubleheader on ABC?
Yep. Makes too much sense.
We've had one game through 1+ rounds now on free TV in the US.
Yep.
And they wonder, I mean, that's one of the reasons that could hurt ratings. Another, I mean, here's what the NHL kind of a diatribe here needs to flip. We need to stop marketing teams. We've got to stop this whole hockey culture of the logo more than the player name. You got to start marketing players because right now, if you don't have any of, like right now, they don't have any of the big six. There are 6 big cities that carry ratings in the NHL. And team, Chicago, Detroit, and Philly are a disaster right now. Boston doesn't know their identity. And you got the New York area teams who were supposed to be there, but boy, did that suffer this year. This is the problem when you don't have, the markets that drive hockey viewing there.
I'd like to chime in on that. Just
Chiming away.
I understand your sentiment, but I also understand kind of where the league is going with this. Yes, putting it on free TV broadcast, over the air would be fantastic for those of us who still understand and use a antenna to receive television. The problem is a lot of people do not, and they subscribe to streaming services, and that's where you're going to be making your money. So to put it out on a streaming service, that people have to pay for and that they're paying for anyway, it doesn't really make sense to put it out for free over the air because not that many more people are going to be watching.
That's been disproven because the NBA proves it consistently that their ABC ratings are higher than their Turner or their ESPN ratings. And here's the thing too, it's stumbling upon the channel. It's the bars having it on so people watch. It's the lower part of if you still do channels on the cable side or the direct side, the non-alpha, even, hey, ABC's early in the alphabet too. That helps.
It does, but if you're out at a bar to watch the game, they're going to have cable. It doesn't need to be broadcast on one of the major networks.
No, but you'd be surprised how many times you have to ask to change the channel to
Oh, I'm not surprised.
TNT.
I know every single time.
Versus where ABC on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon with an NBA lead-in or an NBA game coming. To me, it's not the league. It's these TVs. It's the TV. They want you to buy ESPN Plus. They want you to buy Mac. They want you to buy their streaming. So they have no incentive to put it on free TV. So the league,
because people do, yeah,
right. The league needs to push it. The NBA does. MLB does. I mean, you could argue that MLB with their ratings and how regional they've become, that like why is Fox broadcasting the World Series? But the MLB would not allow it to go to FS1 for the entire World Series.
No, just for like the first 6 games.
Well, they have a terrible streaming platform at Fox, so that's part of the problem too. They're way behind the curve there.
Exactly.
If you're a Big Ten fan, you know all about that travesty.
But no, I like
It's a cachet thing. It's an image thing.
There just needs to be a way to be able to not only broadcast it for free, but stream it for free as well, because more people are going to be streaming than they are going to be watching over an antenna.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be like Nick not being able to turn CBC on a Saturday night and see Toronto, and they were banished to Sportsnet 6 or SN1, for one of their offers, TSN 4. Like, it just doesn't happen.
Do they have the Ocho?
I don't know if is TSN. I think they got 6 different channels on TSN. I don't think they have the Ocho yet. There's a lot of TSNs, and there's a lot of Rogers just under different names, City and One and Sportsnet. Yeah, it's crazy up there. It's crazy. Less channels, but more of the same channel.
Yeah.
That's how they do it up north. That's how they do it up north. Got to cut some of these streamers. Too many streamers. Too disjointed. They need to manscape them. That's what they need to do. Manscape the streamers. Manscaped.com. PHN20 is the code. You can trim up everything you need. Look as good as Dr. Lou Lafredo. Manscaped.com. PHN20. Get your discount. Let's do it. Let's talk about our favorite topic. I don't want to talk about Nicholas Roy and his supplement discipline. I want to talk about the newest entry into the NHL nickname world. The Utah team has taken on their rival city's lacrosse team name in the Mammoth. They've stolen the Nuggets colors ish minus the yellow. And I don't know if they used word perfect clip art for their logo or if an 8-year-old drew it. Not quite sure.
Oh, okay. We need to stop pushing this narrative that they're our rival, because they're not. They're there. They're stealing our stuff, but
regional like this is going to be a regional rivalry. Like this is going to be
in like what 20 years when they are relevant.
Says the team that couldn't sign their big guy.
One of 3 that we have. McKinnon, Landeskog, Rantanen. Which
Landeskog's played like 4 games in the last 3 years.
Yeah, I was just saying, where's McCarr?
They just signed
McCarr. Oh my god!
I'm talking about the original 3-headed monster they had.
Oh my god!
You got those 3. You got to pick one. You got to pick one to go. Who's it going to be? You're going to shoot yourself in the foot no matter what.
Landeskog.
Anyway, really?
Landeskog goes because of liability.
You cut your captain.
Yeah, when he can't play, yes, yes.
This is where sentimentality gets you.
Or you end up with a Brett Seaver contract. That's what happens. I've seen what happens. You don't want that. You really don't.
Anyway, they're not our rival. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but we need to stop pushing this because they'll steal our stuff.
We're pushing it. No, of course.
Why?
What do you mean why?
Why do we need
to look at the regions? Look at
Colorado's got 2 fantastic rivals, Detroit and Dallas.
Oh my! Whoa! Okay. Detroit. When's the last time anybody has given 2 craps about I don't see Draper and Lemieux and Waugh and Lynch no. Lonnie? When's the last time you cared? Resident Leaf fan. When's the last time you circled Colorado on your schedule? Or sorry, Resident Wings fan. Did I say Leaf fan?
Yeah, you did.
Resident Wing fan. When's the last time you circled Colorado on your schedule?
Every time we play them, I hate those guys.
Yeah, but
see,
I don't give a shit who's on the ice for them.
It's
I
embedded.
am all for wrecking these guys at every turn.
Okay.
No, it's like
haven't seen that on the TNT Wednesday night rivalry setup much.
All the time they try to force feed that one. At least one of the 2 matchups a year is always on a national TV spot.
Okay, so half their game. Okay, maybe yeah. So who's the other one? Colorado and who else? Who?
Dallas. Colorado, Dallas. That seems you can't deny that's a rivalry.
But that seems recency biased of top of the standing battles.
And the way they do playoffs now.
Right. Which is God, you just gave Gary Bettman a whole lot of love right there. I mean, you literally just gave him the reason why. Good for you.
Do what I can.
Gary Bettman apologist, Lonnie Goldsmith, everybody.
Said nobody ever.
Okay. Enough of
Okay.
listening to your shenanigans. Can we talk about the name and the logo and the jerseys?
We can talk about the name, the logo, and the jerseys, which they're stealing from Colorado. But go ahead.
So, okay, the name they steal from your lacrosse team, your box
Yes.
lacrosse team, right?
Yep.
Okay, which is owned, I believe, by the same company that owns the Avs.
Stan Kroenke. Yep.
Their colors. Okay, the Nuggets have had a lot of colors.
They have. Their colors,
sometimes
their
all
logo,
on the same jersey.
I am old enough to remember the rainbow jerseys of Alex English and Dan Issel of the 80s.
Right.
Yeah, they had all the colors.
Right.
I'm not saying they stole the colors. They're similar, but it's whatever.
Okay.
It's the name.
These were the same color. I mean, it's the same colors they had this year, right?
Right.
So yeah, get off the color thing.
I'm not saying they stole the colors. The colors are whatever. I don't care about that.
They just happen to match the shirt that Richard is wearing today.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
His Nuggets sans yellow, but I still think of yellow as the dominant color of the
It
Nugs,
is.
not
It
the
is.
blue.
Yeah. No, I'm not. Not saying that.
And the logo is completely different from the Mammoth lacrosse logo because the Mammoth lacrosse logo doesn't have a woolly mammoth as part of it at all.
No,
It
it's
just
just
has an
much better.
M.
Yeah,
Because why not?
stands for much better.
Much better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
If much better were one word.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, and also if either logo was good because they both kind of suck.
Oh, really? I will die on this hill.
An M with two tusks coming out of it. No, like
CM. You got to count the curls.
where's the
as
C? Oh,
It's in the curl of the tusk.
Other okay.
Yeah.
And they just copy the colors of the Avalanche. What the hell? I mean, come
Because
on.
they're owned
be
by
original.
their own same owner.
Be original. Be original. Ooh. Who do you think you are? Pittsburgh? You think you're Pittsburgh, don't you?
You wanted Utah to be the Blizzard so they could have the double Z.
Yes. Yes.
The original. The
Yeah.
original.
Yeah. Lonnie, the logo's awful. It's very clip arty. Like word
it's
perfect. Like I want
clip-arty.
the paper clip, hopping along my screen in word perfect and telling me I can clip art it.
I see you're trying to design a logo. I can help you with that.
Look,
It was AI before AI.
Right.
I
Clippy.
like the elements of the mountains in the logo. I think
Mhm.
that's a nice touch. I definitely like the U with the tusk through it and the Utah with the in the shape with the stick more than I do the main logo.
Stole that
Yeah.
from the Mammoth, right in the tusk with the letter, right, Richard?
Yeah.
The subtle letter in the tusk. Yeah. Stole
Yeah.
that from Colorado.
Sure did.
Nobody cares about your indoor lacrosse team.
Hey,
Jeez.
they are champions, by the way. They are league champions.
And they even put an M in the mountain that's on the left side in the back of his head. I mean, they hit
did.
an M. There is a U and an M in the logo both. But I don't know. And then
it's not good.
we go to the jerseys. They literally just slapped the logo on this year's black jersey.
Yeah, they don't even get it for the road jersey.
Well, I don't mind Utah on the road. The diagonal Utah is kind of classic.
I like it. It's classic.
Pittsburgh
But they changed.
and Rangery.
They changed the Utah. They did a different font.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Right. I don't have a problem with that. I don't mind the font that they did
Yeah.
on that.
With the step. I'm wondering how many years this is the jersey. Like, was this we designed a template to last 3 years? Like, going into last year, did they work with Fanatics? Say, okay, this is our 3-year template. And then in year 4, when we have the logo solidified, the name solidified, boom, we get our real jersey.
It could be. Look, it's fine. It doesn't do anything for me, but I'm not offended by it either. It's fine. I mean, they'll take umbrage with the logo, with the name, probably more so than any other part of it. It's
supposedly it stomped the hockey club and Outlaws. Like it wasn't even close,
Yeah.
according to the release. Stomped.
Of course
Was the name. I was
listen,
like,
if it had
interesting.
one more vote, they would have said stomped. It's like you want it to be resounding. Whether it is or not is a different story.
Well, they had to use
But-
stomp to be cute.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's like I said, it's fine. We'll see. Like maybe you do more interesting things with third jerseys or future jerseys, but I think when all your favorite choices were trademarked out, then
Yeah.
you got to come up with something.
Yeti was going to be the thing until it wasn't.
Right.
That's essentially what we've all learned is Yeti was going to be the thing until it wasn't. But Nick, what's north of the border feel about the newest identity?
I wish they were called the draft lotteries, but that's just me.
The draft lotteries.
Because that's where they're going to be every year.
Wow. Thinking the Richard route of they're just not going to be good, so they'll never be a rival. Never
Yeah.
be a rival. Okay. We can all agree on one thing though. It's a better jersey than where they came from.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No. Not even close. Give me the Kachina any day. This is no. Step
We-
way down.
We know your taste of jerseys and we really don't care.
I know you don't, which is why I'm so vocal about it.
I mean, I will give them credit with the Mammoth that like the Mammoth are a relation to like the Ice Age, where if they found mammoth bones in there, ice, hockey, like
Yeah.
I'm okay with the tie into the sport.
And to the geography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
just-
I like the incorporation of the mountains in the logo. Like
Yes.
that's cool. But
I just want to roll with the logo.
be original. Like don't steal our stuff, Utah. Not even that. Like, okay, I'm going further into this release. Their battle cry or their rally is Tusks Up, which the Colorado Mammoth, since 2003, their rally cry has been Tusk Up.
So it's
Adding
different.
an S. Yeah, adding an S. Good job.
Well,
Even though they have a singular tusk in their logo.
how much can you do with
Yeah.
like? There's only so many things you can do with a mammoth.
Charge, rampage. I don't know, something that's
Charge.
not-
Everybody does charge. Like it's been a staple in sports for years. Da, da, da,
Yeah.
da, da. I mean, like that's not original.
whatever.
Break the ice.
Yeah. Hashtag break the ice. Or if you're Mattel, don't break the ice. Whatever.
That's a good reference. That is a really good with the red mallet. The
Yeah.
little dude, yes.
Which I've actually never played, but I know the game.
It's like Jenga for it's Jenga in a different form.
Yeah. I'm familiar with it. I've just never played.
Oh, you got to get that for the kid.
I will. He's been asking for it.
Has he really?
Yeah, actually, he has.
He knows the game exists?
Yeah, our neighbors have it, so he's been wanting
Oh,
it.
you got to get oh my god, that's come on now.
It will
Get
happen.
with
It'll
it.
happen. It will happen. It will happen.
Man. Okay. Anything to add on this? No, we all don't love it. Okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not the worst logo in the league. I think that's kind of where
Whose is?
oof. Worst logo in the league. Oh man, put me on the spot here. I mean anything Detroit sucks. So I mean kind of start there, I guess.
We're less racist than Chicago, so it's okay.
There you go.
I don't even know where you're going with that. The worst logo in the league. Oh, I mean, it's probably Minnesota for me. Between the logo and the color, I've never been on board with the Wild.
Yeah, the green and the red just don't go well together.
It's the wrong green and red, but nice try. I don't know. I mean, I've always I don't like all the red jersey was terrible.
Oh,
when they had that.
Oh, those were brutal.
Yeah, and they leaned into that way too much. I've never really liked the wild. And especially when they look so good in the North Stars colors, it's even worse.
It's really bad. I don't love Anaheim's.
Oh, I love the new orange jerseys though.
The
I
new
love that
one,
they're leaning into the orange.
yes.
And
I don't know.
Are you talking about the wing foot ducks or going back to? I mean, the mask with the new old is. You don't love it?
I don't know. They've had an identity crisis. I feel like they keep tweaking.
That is true. That is
yeah.
true. That's well, when Disney owns your team at one point, I mean, post Disney identity
That's
crisis
true.
is allowed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I do love that they leaned into the orange though. I've never been a Nashville jersey fan. I mean, I like that they lean into a random color of the mustard, but I don't like it. The yellow, I don't like navy with the yellow. I've never liked their color scheme. But
Just curious, when you mentioned it, it wasn't the worst. I just want to know what your bar was.
Current logos, I think Minnesota and Vancouver are my two least favorite that I'd put up there.
Okay.
Of those two, I'd say Minnesota. I like Vancouver. I like just something throwbacky about the whale.
Over the skate and brown.
Those were hideous, but awesome, but in an awesome way.
It's just like the Astros tequila sunrise jerseys were awful in a hideous way.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, the Nuggets skyline rainbow color was.
Those were awesome.
Yeah,
those
were
are great. Those were so good.
What about you, Richard? Whose logo? Whose anti logo are you?
My anti logo. I'm gonna differ with Lonnie there. Vancouver's always been high on my list as one of my not favorite logos. Just the as I like to call it, the pregnant whale just doesn't do anything for me.
The pregnant whale.
Their alternate with like the rink with the hockey stick is much better, in my opinion. But that one I think probably does it the least for me. In recent
Nick definitely
memory,
wasn't around for those jerseys back in the heyday.
what, the spaghetti skate?
Yeah, that's before
and
they
then-
went into that. Before they got into their red era.
But speaking of red eras, the St. Louis Blues. With
Oh, the clown
red-
jersey.
Yeah.
You know what's frightening?
What?
Walk around St. Louis hockey, and the amount of Gretzky clown jerseys that you see being worn is off the charts.
If Gretzky played in it, if it has any tie to the local area, it's going to be worn, hideous or not.
But that's the jersey you choose that he wore?
Yeah.
That was the era he was there.
Yeah.
Era. The era.
The 3 months he was there.
Exactly.
The couple dozen games that he was
When he
there.
stopped for lunch, you know?
You could have wore the white jersey, though, instead of the clown jersey.
Did they still
had
make the white
choices.
jersey to get, though?
What was that?
Did they still make the white jersey that you can get?
Well, clearly not, because the clown jersey said they brought the clown jersey back, for God's sake.
Exactly.
Like, oh, jeez.
That's a choice.
I mean, they reverse retroed it a
Yeah.
couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The Blues have the Blues, once again, don't even get me started on them, of that, to go back to their original, or not to go back to the light blue and yellow, really, from that's where they need to go. This darker blue and like they need to go back to the 70s.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they've got it in their third jersey. They just need to stick it. The white, their home jersey with the black on the bottom is so dumb to me.
Yeah.
Like, black should not be a color of theirs. They are not a black team.
No.
This
Especially when your team's name is the Blues.
You would think. Yeah.
Just lean into what works. It's not that hard.
Yeah, like the Maple Leafs, you don't need a black jersey.
Hey, those jerseys are nice.
Yeah, like maybe if you have
You don't
black
need a
in your
black
name,
one.
you should have a black jersey, though.
Yeah, I feel that's fair.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Looking at you, Chicago.
Rumor is next year. There's rumors coming around that the black jersey, which I own one of those. I own a Chelios Blackhawks jersey. God, I love those black jerseys. Indian head just popped on it. Looks sweet. Richard,
Yes.
about that time.
It is about that time. And it's about that time in the season when we don't have too many games to pick. if we're
So you
going
can't.
this,
Are you saying you can't screw up?
I'm saying if I am to pick 5 games out of 2 that are being played on Saturday, my chances are high I'm going to pick the right ones.
Well, I think the P-Dub Sunday game should be added to our schedule.
Yeah, I was looking at that. They got 2 games on Sunday on Mother's Day, so
And
yeah,
they're
I
playing
think
them in the afternoon. How amazing is that thought?
yeah,
Day games on a Sunday afternoon Mother's Day. What a concept.
right. We will be adding those in as well as we go, but let's get started with the NHL games we have scheduled for Saturday, May 10th, as we record this on Friday. First game, Washington at Carolina. Adam, what you got?
Lonnie has convinced me into a Carolina win.
He's convinced you?
Yeah. His talk and I think Carolina wins game 3.
Okay. Lonnie?
Carolina. I gotta, put my money where my mouth is.
I thought you were
Metaphorically
going to talk
speaking.
him into it and then pick the opposite. That would've
I
been great.
thought for like half a second that I was that just to mess with them, but no, I think Carolina coming home with a well-earned split.
Yeah. Nicholas?
Yeah, I also got Carolina.
I agree. I think this is going to be one of those series where we're just going to be flip-flopping the whole time. And yes, it is. It's going to be going 7 games. All right. Second game on Saturday, we have the Vegas Golden Knights at the Edmonton Oilers. Lonnie, is Vegas going to stop the bleeding?
They are not. Edmonton.
All right. Nicholas?
They are. So Vegas, yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. I will take Vegas as well. Adam?
Edmonton.
All right. All right. And for the P-Dub, on Sunday, May 11th, we have the Ottawa Charge at the Montreal Victory. Adam, who you got?
Pause 1 second before we talk about that, the pick. Gentlemen, do you like the PWHL format where the first place team gets to pick their opponent?
Absolutely.
I think it's awesome. I think it works in like a 16 league. I don't know as they expand if it should work beyond that, but
can you imagine if you win the President's Cup, you get to pick your opponent in the first round, and then the seeds fall in, reshuffled after that?
I think it's an amazing concept. Give as much advantage to the top team in the league as you can in the playoffs. You have some team's number, go with them. But then that can make for some great upsets in the first round.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
yeah.
So
That being said, Adam, Montreal. Ottawa.
Montreal hosting Ottawa. Let's go the victory for the victory.
The victory will be victorious. Nicholas.
I don't want to go Ottawa, but I feel like everyone's going to pick Montreal, so I'll go Ottawa.
Okay. I'm going to go with Montreal as well. Lonnie?
I'm going to go Montreal as well.
Oh,
They've just
was
been
I
so
right or was I
dominant
right?
this season. Yeah, right? They've just been so dominant
they
this
have.
season.
They have.
It's hard to pick against them. All right, and the second game we have on Mother's Day, Toronto at Minnesota. I'll start with Lonnie on this one. Who you got?
Minnesota, even it up.
All right. Nicholas?
Toronto.
Couple homer picks right there on the
Yeah,
on
it
the
is.
screen. I am gonna go with the best jerseys over one of my favorite players. Toronto with the win.
Their jerseys are nice. I like those.
Best jerseys in the league. Those blue jerseys are freaking awesome.
I really like the Boston Whites. The Fleets. Those are some sick jerseys. All right. There you go. There are our picks for the week. If you want to follow us On Blue Sky, you can find us at PHN Podcast. And if you'd like to submit your picks and see how well you stack up against us, you can use the hashtag PHN Picks.
There you go. It is time for our last thoughts of the situation. Nick, what's on the mind of the intern today? What's our great stat unknown of the day?
So in the history of the Phoenix Coyotes and the previous Winnipeg Jets, they have only managed to win 2 of 20 postseason series, and both victories came against the Calgary Flames. In 99 postseason games, the franchise has been outscored 369 to 263.
That was a fun fact. I had fun.
Wow.
That was a lot. Those are a lot of words.
A lot of numbers.
Yeah. So what's the moral of the story?
Don't play in Phoenix.
Well, they didn't for a lot of years.
Well, the moral
and
of
that's
the
the problem.
well,
Exactly.
the moral of the story is that the Utah Mammoth are in big trouble in the postseason. Then, so something's got to break that juju.
Richard.
Parting thought. I've just been enjoying watching the when I can, the first round and now the start of the second round of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. But I've also kind of been wondering, Adam, with as much ice time as Connor McDavid has been getting, has your daughter been very happy being able to watch him play so much?
Up until last night, she was, yes. She is on a 2-game grounding from watching the
Ooh.
Oilers for compounding lies the other day.
Oh no.
Yep. And punishment was I suspended her very suspended her for 2 Oilers games. So didn't take away screen time, didn't say she couldn't watch the NHL playoffs. Just you can't watch the Oilers next 2 games. It didn't go. It crushed her. But lesson learned. Maybe
Exactly.
she won't lie. And compound
Good
the lie.
parenting right there.
I don't know. We just no, she is absolutely, yeah. I mean, she is intent. I mean, she watches for 97 to come over the boards. Hyman's become her second favorite player
Okay.
on there. So, but yeah, no, she loves it. Ice time's good. Ice time's good.
Every time I see the highlights, I keep thinking, is Rory getting enough McDavid in her life?
She, after tomorrow, we can resume she can get enough McDavid in her life. Yeah. Lonnie?
So speaking of or going back to the Avalanche Red Wings rivalry, Colorado has now lost 7 consecutive game 7s. Longest streak in major pro sports history. That streak started in 2002 when the Red Wings beat the Colorado Avalanche in game 7, 7-0.
Yep.
Absolutely piled on Patrick Waugh, who it was that game or game 6 where he tried to do a Statue of Liberty save and drop the puck. The puck behind him, tried to be all fancy and run his mouth and drop the puck and started the avalanche, no pun intended. No, yeah, pun intended, of goals against him. So happy to refresh that memory since my own hockey team doesn't give me much to cheer about these days.
I still believe that is their worst loss in the playoffs, was that 7-0 loss.
I think so. Yep.
You know what the best thing about talking about Red Wings playoffs? The last time they won a playoff series, their season was ended by the Blackhawks in the next series.
2010, right?
No, 13.
Oh, 13.
Oh,
13.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, weren't they in the East in 13?
No, that was our last year in the West.
Yeah, it was the last year in the West.
Because
there was
Boston.
that was the you were up 3-1 series.
Were we up 3-1?
Yeah. And Seabrook went to talk to Taves in the penalty box and rile him up, and boom, lost in overtime in Game 7.
The Wings should have started their They should have started the rebuild after that, but no. Kenny Holland had to keep the playoff streak alive for no apparent reason. Oh, good. Now you've gotten me riled up. Thank you for that.
Kenny Holland could be another Kings problem here. Yep.
On a Friday afternoon, I don't need this.
And we didn't even talk about Quenneville going to the Ducks. We can save that for the out. That's more coaching shift after everything there.
That's an off-season conversation.
So, my parting shot. I want to propose the NHL to make a rule change. I want to bring time travel back to penalties, not just goals. So, May 2nd, the Blues come in. There was an offside. Wasn't called. They score a goal. It goes to review. They scored a goal 6-on-5 because Falk was called for hooking. So, they came on. So, offside is called. But the penalty... So, they wiped the goal off the board, right? Wiped the goal off the board, but not the penalty. They went back. The clock goes before the hooking happened. So we traveled back in time to wipe a goal off and reset to where the offside happened. The penalty happened in the zone. So the result of the offside should have killed the play and the penalty should have never happened. But the NHL rulebook says that reviews don't wipe out penalties. I think if you wipe out the whole play, if it's a minor penalty, the minor should be wiped out as well.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
So everything that happened after the whistle should have been blown should be wiped.
I think unless it's a major penalty. I'm good with a major sticking.
Yeah.
But a minor, if you're going to wipe out the goal that happened after the incident, the penalty would have never happened if it was correctly called.
That's true.
And the way that they're officiating, they are told in a super, super tight situation, they are instructing the linesman to call it onside. Because you can always revert back to offside. Where if you call it offside, you can't revert back to onside, of course.
Yeah.
It's the fair foul thing with umpires as well. Like the way that they're instructing it is to call the video, which totally understand. Like that's it. But I don't think minors that happen after a reviewable play where the play would have never happened, if the goal can't happen, I don't think a minor penalty should be allowed to happen.
Well, where do you draw the line with double minors then?
I said minor, just a single minor. If you draw blood or if you get a major penalty, then I'm all for keeping that stuck.
Okay.
But a single minor, I think, no.
Okay.
That's my closing thought.
What if it happens behind the play?
Don't care. If you can travel back in time to wipe out a goal, but you can't travel. But you have to stop, take the penalty, and then travel back before it. So like you're resetting the clock to before that penalty happened.
Okay. So just
how could the penalty
entire
have happened?
game. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as there's not a major.
I like it. I'm trying to figure out where your boundaries lie with this. So
Yeah. If we can
I think
time
that makes
travel.
sense.
Yeah. If we can time travel, we should fully be able to time travel.
exactly. No paradox.
For Nick, for Lonnie, for Richard, this is Adam. Thank you to our friends at Manscaped and mycustomsportshare.com. Mycustomsportshare.com is where you can go to get any chair you want with a logo on it. Richard's face can be included. I still think if somebody ever does that, we can collect and pay for that. So go check them out on mycustomsportshare.com. Thanks you all for listening. Enjoy more of the playoffs. Follow it on prohockeynews.com. This has been another edition of